You don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were younger. Innocent in our ways, we were dumb, girl. But nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. I could always count on you. I could always count on you. Don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were younger. Innocent in our ways, we were dumb, girl. But nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. I could always count on you. I could always count on you.
Holy crap, everybody. What is going on? I mean, someone that was in the Pro Bowl probably just got traded. I mean, we can't keep up with everything that's going on right now. For the first time tonight, we have 4 people on it. But before we introduce everybody, first we're going to talk about what we are talking about. 1, OBJ to the Browns. D Ford is now gone. Honey Badgers in KC. AB got to the Raiders. Anthony Barr decided to go back to Minnesota for some odd reason. And much more. Other than that, let's get into introducing everybody. Somehow we have all four of us. But first, let's introduce the one who's always here with me, and that is Jackson. Jackson, how you doing?
Having a good night. Having a good night. Really, really happy about this recent NFL buzz.
It's very good. But something I do want to talk about is that you want the MLB season to be somewhat close to how crazy the free agency's been going, right?
No, I just wanted the MLB offseason to be like at least half of what the NFL is. Like, MLB offseason's a joke.
Not wait 3-4 months.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Also, before we get into this, go vote on Jackson's Royals.Kingdom to vote who the best Royals player of all time is. But introducing our next guest, it is Sam. Y'all know him as Chiefs Chaos. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? I'm just excited about all this buzz that's going on. Gets my heart rate pumping.
I'm doing great. And our most least liked person on this podcast, it is Mr. John Alvey. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Obviously,
Yo, I
love
bet
being
you
the
are
guy.
doing great.
I'm always doing great. Crazy stuff. Bye D Ford. I'm a little bit happy about that. So
a little bit.
Oh, John is the happiest
like
man in Kansas City.
It was raining a little bit, and John just probably got the sun out and everything.
Oh yeah, it's daytime again, man. Like, I'm having a great time.
All right, so let's get right into it. Breaking news within the last hour: Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns for a first-round pick this year, a third-round pick this year, I think, as well, and Jabril Peppers. Who won this trade? Jackson, we'll start with you.
Is this even a real question? The Browns won this trade really, really, really. I guess that doesn't make sense. By a lot. I was gonna say really, really by a lot, but yeah, they won it by a ton. The Giants have shown you got to exclude Saquon because that was literally you couldn't miss him. The inability to draft talent. They drafted Eric Flowers and Evan Ingram, and when they could have had guys like Mahomes and other quarterbacks. And it's funny because they've gotten rid of everyone. They've gotten rid of Collins, Olivier Vernon, now Odell, but they won't get rid of Eli. They're just stuck to him. I don't know what their obsession is with him, but I think the Browns won.
Coming in from the comments, Nicholas is saying the Giants won, but I will defend him. John, who do you think won this trade?
I mean, I'm gonna definitely say the Browns. I think, but honestly, I think it isn't really a big deal because the Giants are kind of irrelevant to me at this point. For as long as they have Eli Manning as their quarterback, I'm not terribly worried about them. So it didn't really make sense to keep OBJ around. But honestly, I see the Browns as really dangerous now. I mean, they started the season off slow, had a really tough loss to the Raiders, but like a couple things go differently, and they could have been playing in that wild card round. But now they really have a high-powered offense. Depending on how quickly Kareem Hunt can get back, they will have one of the premier AFC offenses, I would bet. So they're going to be a dangerous team, which is kind of weird saying that the Browns are going to be a contender.
Yeah, for sure. Sam, who do you think won the trade?
It's not even close to winning the trade. I mean, obviously the Browns did. The Browns just completely fleeced the Giants. Because when you look at this, you're getting probably one of the most competitive players in the game. You're getting a guy that has put up amazing numbers with debatably the worst quarterback. I mean, I'm not even put debatably. He's the worst starting quarterback in the whole league, and worse than most backups, in all honesty. And I mean, he still shows out. And I mean, it's just a terrible move by the Giants to trade this guy. Because if you give him Dwayne Haskins or just, I mean, any other quarterback, if they traded for Jacoby Brissett, in my opinion, they'd debatably be a borderline wild card team. So I think they should have kept Odell Beckham because he's very competitive, and just build around Odell and Saquon, and you'd have an amazing team. But obviously, that's not going to happen.
Good old Saquon. Anyway, no, for sure. I can see where Nicholas is coming from the Giants, because the Giants did get a first-round pick and Jabril Peppers, who is probably, like you said, a really good player in the future. Who knows what that first-round pick is? I think it's pick 17 or 15, something like that. A third-round pick, which is always – picks are always good, and then you add on a player. I think the Giants got good out of this trade, but I think the Browns got better with Odell Beckham Jr., which we all can agree. But as Jackson or John, I forget who was talking about it, how scary are the Browns now? Sam, we'll start with you.
Oh, they're very scary. I'm going to be straight up honest. I told my dad a few days ago, I says, I mean, we'll be in the mix for the contenders as the Browns, but then they traded for OBJ, so it's now like, holy crap. All right, so it's going to be the Chiefs, Patriots, Browns, and Colts. Like, I mean, now it's like, for me at least, in my opinion, Browns are locked to win their division. I don't even have a doubt in my mind. So they're really dangerous, and now they have an amazing offense, and they still have a nice defense. They're definitely going to be a tough team to beat. And the thing is they're set for the future, talent-wise. They're not like a bunch of one-year deals. These are extended periods. Yeah, they're a young team. So this team is not only going to be good this year, but they're going to be good for many years to come.
All right, Jackson.
Yeah, they're going to be really, really good. I'd say they are going to win their division, mainly because Pittsburgh is just a joke at this point, and Baltimore lost pretty much every good defender they had for the most part. And Lamar Jackson can't throw an accurate football consistently, so there's that. And the Bengals are the Bengals. Even though they finally got rid of Marvin Lewis, Andy Dalton is a glorified Blaine Gabbert. So, yeah, the Browns are going to win that. They're going to be contenders.
All right, John?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Like I said, it's pretty crazy to be saying right now that I think the Cleveland Browns are going to be one of the dangerous teams of the AFC, but I guess that's what we've come to. I mean, yeah, they're definitely going to win that division. Steelers are just an absolute crap hole at this point. Nobody really knows what's going on in Pittsburgh. And yeah, the Ravens, their defense is just shot now that they've pretty much lost like half of their players. So yeah, no, the Browns are definitely dangerous. Could see them slipping in as like a 3 or a 4, definitely a division winner. I don't think they're quite yet to that bye level, but I mean, that offense is just ridiculous. And especially depending on how quickly they can get Kareem Hunt back, because I mean, he's a really good running back, even though he does have some off the field issues.
Yeah. Before even the Odell trade, I was thinking how crazy this Browns team is going to be. And hey, who's been saying the Dog Pound Nation will be great once again since week 12? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. That was me. Go back and watch our very, very early podcast, and you'll find me cheering on Dog Pound Nation. Anyway, no, this team is definitely scary, and I totally agree with John. I can see them being a 3 or 4. And to be honest, if they win 2 toss-up games in the season, they could easily be the 2 seed. Because, I mean, the Patriots, I mean, they went 10-6. I mean, that barely got them the 2 seed. And if the Browns are more, and I think the Browns can at least get 10 wins, maybe even more. It's a scary sight. But yesterday, there was some good news around Kansas City finally. Nobody was getting hurt. We were signing somebody. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, $42 million, 3 years. What can Tyrann Mathieu bring to the table? John, we'll start with you.
I mean, he brings a lot to the table defensively. I mean, obviously, the defense can only get better from here. So signings like that are exactly what we need. I mean, like I said, or I think like we said before, Daniel Sorensen, he's all right, but not exactly the type of safety that we need playing game in and game out. So to add some depth in the secondary is very big for our team. And also, like, just kind of upsetting because if Eric Berry could even become, like, a shadow of the player that he once was, I mean, our safeties would be one of the best tandems in the league. But honestly, I don't want to put too much stake into Eric Berry making much of a return after, you know, what we saw all last year. So, but I definitely think the Tyrann Mathieu signing is a very good development for the Chiefs. We're taking a step in the right direction with that one.
All right, Jackson, what can the Honey Badger bring?
I mean, he can bring a lot of things, but we still have a long way to go. What's awesome about him is that he doesn't just play safety and corner. You can line him up at linebacker. He's literally lined up at like every position except defensive tackle in his career. So he's very versatile. He's big enough to play linebacker at times, and he's really a smart football player. And I feel like he's going to help out those other guys. And we're gonna have to blitz him a couple times because our pass rush now is really thin now that we don't have Ford or Houston down to just Chris Jones. So that'll be interesting. But from a coverage perspective, it really can't get worse. Like, as long as he can cover a slant on 3rd and 10, we'll be fine.
All right, Sam, what can you bring to the table? Chiefs chaos.
I think he can bring a lot to the play, to the table. I mean, he's a physical guy. He has physical play. He's aggressive. He's kind of like, I won't say he's like a Barry 2.0 because Barry currently is like a Tyrann 2.0. And so, I mean, they're both physical guys. They're both fiery guys. They're both, and so I feel like if Tyrann gets to that point, and then if Barry gets to the point of staying healthy, they'd be definitely a scary team to face. And just with two safeties, you know, it's like I think it was Jackson who mentioned about that slant. You know, obviously, if you had better safeties or in lots of plays in the playoffs, lots of the safeties weren't covering blown coverage, and it's not necessarily saying I'm not saying it's their fault, but lots of times the safeties would not pick up blown coverage, which is a problem. And lots of the times, you know, Barry wasn't out there, so that's a big problem with that. But if those two are on the field at the same time, opposing offenses are going to have their hands full.
Yeah. Coming in from there's a lot of people asking about a lot of stuff in the comment section. Right now, guys, the NFL is crazy. So we're going to try to keep up as fast as much as we can. But we will definitely talk about all of the NFL moves within the next podcast. It won't be this Saturday, having an off day. Next Tuesday, we're having an off day. Next Wednesday is a special podcast. So it might be a while, but we will get to that stuff. But I definitely think Tyrann Mathieu, like Jackson was saying, he can bring anything to the table except him being a defensive line. This dude can play any position. So, I mean, that's really good for the Chiefs. But, as everyone was saying in the comment section, did you see D Ford? We also did see Stevie Nelson going to Pittsburgh, which sucks to see him go. Little something there. But let's talk about D Ford. 2nd round pick in the 2020 draft to the 49ers. Do you think that was enough from Ford? Jackson, we'll start with you.
You know, you're supposed to sell high, buy low, and we did just that. We sold high. Listen, D Ford in 4 or 5 seasons here? Don't really know, but he was never this good. This was his best season he ever had, and to be honest,
Breaking news.
Oh,
Earl Thomas and the Browns are now in discussion of a 3-year deal that will bring him to Cleveland.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no.
This
Patriots too? I think it's Dog Pound Nation.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Not yet. Slow down. Slow down. Pump the brakes.
But
Pump the brakes.
that was breaking news. I just wanted to get that out. Jackson, go on.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think we did a good job because listen, I don't know if D Ford can get 13 sacks again. He hadn't proven he could done it before this year. A lot of guys play really well in their contract year because they have to. And now the Niners gave him 5 years, 87 million. So have fun with that. He's bound to get hurt, and to me, after he was offsides, that was it. Like I don't think it's in that. Listen, like
No,
I
think that's John's. I should have asked John.
John, you can get to this second because I know you're more.
John will go in depth.
I know you're more vocal about this, but here's my thing. How are you a professional? Not a professional, a Pro Bowl defensive lineman, and you can't line up on sides? Like that is mind-boggling. You do that in Pee Wee football. How did you line up off sides? You didn't jump off sides. You lined up off sides. And you didn't even get close to Brady. I mean, listen, thank you, D Ford, for everything you did. You were a really good pass rusher this year. But I felt like after that, your legacy, your reputation in Kansas City was just thrown out the door.
All right, John, I'm giving you free roam on this one. I want to hear this.
I mean, okay, I don't want to. I kind of sound like a broken record on this one, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Mainly, my thing with D Ford is that he lost any chance at us throwing big money at him in that game. I mean, he did nothing against the Patriots. He didn't get the Tom Brady at all. We heard about how good of a pass rusher he was, and the only game all year that truly mattered, D Ford literally sat down and acted like an 8-year-old. I mean, the one play that Tom Brady has a mental lapse just so happened to be the one that you literally could not manage to just do the simplest thing as a defensive player, which to not stand on the wrong side of scrimmage. So, I'm glad to see him go. And, I mean, yeah, the whole sell high, buy low, or whatever it is. Yeah, that's the saying. I think we did a good job with that, definitely. He probably had one of his best seasons we'll ever see from him this year. So, fine with the value we got out of him. So,
Speaking of D Ford, 49ers pay Ford $87.5 million over 5 years.
Yep, they can have fun with him choking.
Fools.
Sam, what do you think D Ford was worth?
All right, I do believe to some extent the franchise tag was, justified because, I do think he holds the value of a near top 5 linebacker. Give or take, he's definitely up there to an extent. But I personally like D Ford. From what I've heard, normally the referees, or always referees, like, for example, whenever wide receivers point to the refs saying if they're onside, and the refs will nod, this or that. The refs always, tell the players if they're offsides or not. From what I've heard, and that's from Andy Reid, so he's an NFL coach, so I'm going to go with what he says. Yeah, it was dumb. The refs didn't tell him. The refs should have told him he was offsides, but again, he's an NFL player. In 5th grade football, I was told, watch the ball, you go on the ball. It's common sense, common knowledge. Obviously, D Ford made a huge mistake, and that's always going to tarnish his KC legacy. But for the 49ers just paid him, being $87 million over 5 years, that's ridiculous because he's had a bad injury history. So I like D Ford as a person, but good job, man. He just completely robbed the 49ers with that contract.
He can't play the
run. Shout out Entertaining Gaming. Thank you for stopping by the podcast for the first time. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah, also, I want to say, he can have fun eating San Francisco's salary because San Francisco sports, I hate them. Beat us in the World Series, and I have to deal with the Golden State Warriors. Like, the Bay Area is the worst city in America. That's my opinion.
Boston.
I hate them more than Boston.
Nothing replaces my hatred for Boston.
They ripped the soul out of the NBA, and I know we won the World Series in 2015, but no, the Giants can walk. I have different words for them, but they can get right on out of here. So, yeah.
A ripple effect of the Odell trade. Brashad Perryman, who agreed to a 1-year deal with Cleveland earlier today, now wants out. Which is interesting because you can't officially sign today, so he gets out, basically. That's my assumption because you can't put pen to paper
I have
yet.
a question about that. All these teams are posting having players sign a contract. How are they signing if the league doesn't start till tomorrow?
Well, they're not officially signing it. They're just verbal agreements right now.
All right. So something that happened on Saturday, which is really old news now compared to all the news that we've been talking about. Antonio Brown got traded to the Raiders. Yes, the Raiders. Not too happy with that, but he got traded for a
Who said he was going to go to the Raiders? I forgot. Who said
me.
that?
I did.
No.
It was me and Josh, technically, actually. But.
Yes, and I was the
Yeah.
one that said there's no way he's going to the 49ers. He never goes to the team that people say he will go to. Anyway, AB got traded for a 5th and 3rd round pick. Holy crap, was that little? Why was he traded for not that much? John, we'll start with you.
I mean, honestly, like if I thrown a 5th and a 3rd round pick at him, and I know we don't really need defense. I mean, I know we don't really need offense, but I would have totally done that. I mean, Antonio Brown would. Our offense would be the greatest of all time, I feel like, if we got that. But yeah, that trade, like, kind of odd the Steelers went for it for that little. Of course, they were just trying to kind of dump him off. And a lot of people might be afraid of the Raiders. I'm really not. They won, like, I don't even remember how many games, but it wasn't very many. Like, I'm sure everyone's seen the meme that, like, he catches it and it's like 42-7. Like, they score a touchdown against the Chiefs. Like, I have no fears. We're still such a better team. Derek Carr will, like, break his collarbone or something. And, yeah, Antonio Brown will have to catch passes from Nathan Peterman. So, the Raiders are, similar to the Giants, irrelevant to me. So, yeah.
Jeez. All right, Sam.
So I mean, when looking towards the AV trade, like, I completely understand how he's worth so little. He literally every day, like every single day, he was driving down his value even more. And so, like, I understand, but we have to keep in mind, literally, John Gruden, I have to give this man some props. He traded Amari Cooper for a 1st-round pick, then turns around and gets Antonio Brown for a 3rd and 5th. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Good for that guy. But when looking towards other Raiders, a team to look out for this year, I mean, yeah, they definitely are. When you look at 3rd place, I mean, they could really make a run for that 3rd place spot in the division. But even going up to 2nd, I mean, I don't even entertain the idea of them getting 2nd place in the division. And we're just, I mean, I think they maybe could possibly get 2nd in the Patriots division, but going to the AFC West, there's no way they even get 2nd.
Okay. Jackson?
Yeah, I don't fear them yet. Still many things they'd have to address before I would fear them. One of those things being quarterback, because I don't believe in Derek Carr. But yeah, I could realistically see them going 7-9. I think that wouldn't be the most improbable thing in the world, but I couldn't see them doing much better than that.
All right, but something to remember is the Raiders have 3 first-round picks this year. Are the Raiders a team to look out if these picks are promising?
One of them will fall through. I guarantee at least one of them. I mean,
Yeah.
one of them will probably fall through.
But do you see at least one of them becoming actually a good pick?
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Well, when the
it's
rest of your
completely
team's absolute
random.
booty cheeks.
If you get 3 chances, you're gonna hit one most likely.
I mean, yeah, but it's also the Raiders, so who knows?
I mean, I don't know. They got Mike Mayock now as their GM.
I mean, let's just look at this. If the Dolphins had 3 first-round picks, would they compete next year? No, and the Dolphins are just as good as the Raiders are.
But the
I think
Dolphins
we're just
didn't
putting.
get anybody this year. They lost someone in the offseason.
I know, but I'm just referring to like those 3 first-round picks. Nothing's guaranteed with that, and they'll take a while to develop. I sure hope so, at least.
Yeah. Also, like, do they actually have a permanent home yet? Like,
No.
What's that
I know
got
their
to
like
do with
deal was.
anything?
No, I mean, like, I'm just asking. It's kind of off topic, but I mean, also, like, I don't know. They're kind of a mess right now. I don't know. They're nothing to me.
No, John, can they
get-
come crash at your place tonight?
No. Okay, Josh. Yeah, they can. They can come play in my front yard.
Hey,
It's
Mr.
about as
Cole,
nice as Oka.
Your lemonade's ready. Anyway, let's talk about Anthony Barr. Let's talk about Anthony Barr. He was going to sign with the Jets, but then got cold feet and decided to sign with the Vikings. Why do you think Barr changed his mind? Sam, we'll start with you.
All right, I'm gonna be straight up honest. I have no idea. If I was Anthony Barr, I'd definitely not want to change my mind. Yeah, Kirk Cousins as a QB. You're not looking too promising as a team to contend next year. Then you have the Jets with Sam Darnold. You have a team that's most likely going to land Le'Veon Bell. Things are looking good, going up and stuff. Why would you? And you have to keep in mind, I mean, New York's a big stage. The guy would get tons of publicity and you get more sponsors. And overall, it has more sightseeing, all this stuff. I mean, overall, like New York's better than every aspect than Minnesota is. So he's staying with Minnesota with Kirk Cousins, with overrated, overpaid Kirk Cousins. I have no idea why he'd do that, but I mean, if the man wants to stay, let him stay.
All right, John.
I mean, my only foreseeable solution is that he just wants to stay in Minnesota. And I mean, I don't think either of the teams are really going to win this year. I guess the Jets, you could buy in on Darnold developing well, but I mean, in general, I think both of these teams, I don't think the Vikings have what it takes. I put a lot more stake into the quarterback nowadays. Maybe they could slip into the playoffs, but when Kirk Cousins is your guy, I mean, you don't have all that great a shot. And Darnold still up in the air. I mean, I still think some of these quarterbacks from last year's class will come through. Just depends on who. So, I mean, yeah, it's whatever. But the Vikings and Jets, I don't see either of them being real contenders this year.
All right, Jackson. Why did he change his mind? Jackson.
Yeah, he apparently said that he
Right.
What? He said that he was or I heard the report that he was physically sick last night.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't blame him. If I was about to become a Jet for 4 years, I would be pretty sick too. That's pretty terrible, honestly. But you know what's even more sickening is Minnesota. So
True.
God,
I don't know. I would. I might rather be
this
the
dude
Vikings
is
Jet.
literally known only because he hurt Aaron Rodgers. Like, I did not know who he was until that happened. So,
He's
a
good linebacker, though.
I mean, he's all right. He had his worst year last year in a contract year, which is disturbing. But you know what? It's
Jackson always loves talking about contract years.
because they're important. Like, people always go try hard in their contract year, and then after they get a big contract, just screw it. And they're like, I don't have to try anymore. I'll just screw the team out of more money.
Yeah, like,
Okay. That's what Alex Gordon did to us.
Oh,
So-
he did
Facts.
much worse.
Oh, man.
He did much
I mean, don't
worse.
say Alex Gordon tried. He just got bad. That's
No, I think it's a little bit of both.
I mean, I'm not saying they stop trying. I'm just saying like they take stuff off. They don't grind as hard, which is
They
just
don't train 7 days a week. They train 6.
I mean, if that, yeah, like it's. I don't know. Like I don't typically like. Either way, he was getting a big amount of money. Man, I don't. I mean, I guess you get to play in a nicer stadium in Minnesota. But
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't have to play in the cold. But my reasoning is he realized that he was just going to the Jets and he really didn't want to. Because Minnesota, that's what he's been the last few years. But Landon Collins signs with the Redskins for 6 years and $84 million. Who do you think is better, Matthew or Collins? John, we'll start with you.
I mean, I have no idea. Aren't they getting paid at the same rates?
no.
Like,
God, no.
Collins
What?
got paid a lot more.
84
Oh,
over
really?
6 years, and Tyron
Yeah,
got
but isn't that
42
still,
over
like-
3 years? Oh wait, no, that's the
isn't
same
that still
exact
14
money.
a year?
Yeah, that's the same exact money.
So I mean, yeah, I probably would land on the side of Collins, and if I had a choice, like if I could put one of them on my team, I'd probably say Collins, just because hasn't he like played for Spagnuolo before? But I mean, either way, I'm completely happy with the Honey Badger. Also, not too long term of a commitment. Not many NFL safeties stay relevant for as long as Collins is being anticipated to with the 6-year deal. So I'm fine with Matthew, 3 years, 42. That's kind of the sweet spot. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you're asking me straight up, I'd probably lean on the side of Landon Collins.
All right, Jackson.
I would land on the side of. It's really close, but I'd go Tyrann Mathieu because I think he's a little more versatile. I think he's a little faster. I think Collins can hit harder. He's a bigger build, but I think Matthew's a little faster, which is kind of what we lacked last year. We didn't really have much speed. So I would probably, for us, I would side with Matthew.
All right. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Just really tired. Sam.
I'm gonna go with Collins. Like for the Chiefs, like I think we should sign like contract, cap space, everything involved. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, was the better, more convenient, overall smarter option. But if I had just like pick a guy, if I was like picking teams, like if I was a GM and we had like a restart and I pick someone, it'd be Landon Collins before I pick Tyrann Mathieu.
I think they're both really good, but I'm gonna have to go with Matthew for right now. I just think what he can bring to the team and his energy that he brings to the team is what I think that I would want. But Sam, you said you have a free agency list to read.
Yeah, so I want to keep us because you mentioned obviously how we'll get all the news about all the stuff out, and I just thought I'd read the list basically of who signed all that stuff.
Here's
It
your
might
little
take a
update.
while,
Here's your
but
little.
yeah. So I'm starting at quarterback. Nick Foles signed a 4-year, $88 million deal with Jacksonville. Teddy Bridgewater re-signed a deal with New Orleans. It's kind of undisclosed at this point. I'm only going to touch on notable names, so if I don't call out Matt Schaub or Derek Anderson, you understand. Obviously, Kareem Hunt signed with Cleveland. Mike Davis signed a 2-year, $6 million deal with Chicago. Latavius Murray signed with New Orleans. Carlos Hyde obviously signed with KC. Frank Gore signed a 1-year, $2 million deal with Buffalo.
Oh my God,
And
he's still alive.
Did you just say
on
he's
to
still
wide
alive?
receivers.
Still around. He's like 90 years old, but yeah.
Larry
what's funny?
Fitzgerald. Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead.
You know what's funny? The number one knock on Frank Gore coming out of college was his durability. That
Oh
was
my
the number
goodness.
one. That was the number one weakness scouts had on him, that he wasn't very durable.
Well, he's like 40 years old now as a running back. So,
Like 33, but it's the same thing.
yeah, I mean,
That's 40 for a running back.
yeah, that's 45 for a running back.
Anyway, keep going, Sam. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. And Larry Fitzgerald, he signed 1 year, $11 million with Arizona. John Brown went to Buffalo, 3 years, a nice deal for Buffalo there. Devin Funchess fleeced the Colts, a 1-year, $10 million deal, which the money is a little too high for my liking. Jamison Crowder signed a 3-year, $28 million deal with the Jets, completely fleeced them. Humphrey signed a deal with Tennessee. Cole Beasley signed with Buffalo. And as we stated earlier, Perriman re-signed with Cleveland there. Danny Amendola signed with the Lions, which is a dummy on his part. Should have re-signed with the Patriots, at least in my opinion. Then going on in tight end, there's not really anything too notable there. Offensive tackles, Trent Brown signed with Oakland. Donovan Smith signed with Tampa Bay. Jawan James signed with Denver. And that's really all there's too notable from those I can at least think of right now. Then on to interior offensive lineman. Mitch Morris, good old buddy from KC, signed with a 4-year deal with Buffalo. You keep on hearing Buffalo coming up, so they're making some moves. Roger Saffold signed a 4-year, $44 million deal with Tennessee. And I'm just going to kind of skip through the linemen because, who cares for linemen? Okay, on to defense. This is where some big stuff happens. Trey Flowers signed 5-year, $90 million deal with Detroit. Dante Fowler re-signed with the Rams. Brandon Graham re-signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Julius Peppers retired. Terrell Suggs, which is like a lifelong Raven, left Baltimore, play for Arizona. And now interior defensive lineman. Sheldon Richardson went to Cleveland. Malik Jackson went to Philly. Let me keep on going. I'm just scrolling through the list trying to help y'all out here. All right, CJ Mosley, big deal. This is a big deal. Signed 5-year, $85 million deal with the Jets. Quan Alexander, another big deal, signed $54 million over 4 years with San Fran. Okay, come on, Josh.
Sorry, I was actually yawning.
And then Anthony Barr re-signed with Minnesota, as we stated. Can't really think of anything else. We'll go into cornerbacks. I'm about done. All right, guys, I'm about done. Well, there, Landon Collins, obviously, you mentioned that. Adrian Amos signed a 4-year, $37 million deal with Green Bay. That was a great move. That was a great move by Green Bay. Completely. That was a great move, I ain't gonna lie. Joyner signed 4-year, $42 million deal with Oakland, which is another good move by Oakland. Eric Reed signs a 3-year, $21 million deal with Carolina. And I'm not going to mention his anthem or any of his like political stuff, but honestly, that is a really good deal for the Panthers. Weddle signed a 2-year deal with the Rams, and going on to kickers. I mean, should I even cover kickers?
No.
Yeah, I ain't gonna cover kickers, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, moving on to baseball. Brad Keller to start on opening day for the Royals. What are your thoughts on this move, Jackson? Starting with you.
Well, I mean, he's the best pitcher on the staff, so I think it's the right move. He had a really good rookie season. No rookie starter had a better ERA than him. It's just that we were terrible, so no one cared. I'll be out there, so he better not suck. Like last year when Duffy pitched opening day and we lost by gave up 13 runs to the White Sox. The White Sox again, it's probably going to be cold again, so here we go again. Salvi's going to miss opening day again, and just this time he's going to miss the entire season. So feels like Groundhog Day, honestly, except now we got Brad Keller to save the day.
All right, John.
All right, what was the question again? I was reading an article.
Brad Keller, what are your thoughts on him being the starting day?
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's a good thing. He showed a lot of promise late in last season, so I think he's got a lot of potential to be a solid starter. I mean, we saw it from the start of the year, too. Pretty good out of the bullpen, so, yeah, I think that's fine. Duffy really didn't have all that great of a year. Junis was very inconsistent, so completely fine with that. Obviously, all this is subject to change. I don't like to put a ton of stake in the opening day starter because, I mean, it doesn't really show who's going to perform better. But yeah, I mean, I like the future of our starting pitching rotation. So yeah, everything's looking good.
Nicholas is saying it should have been Duffy. We can talk about that soon. But Sam, who do you
Yeah.
think was a good move?
Yeah, I'm gonna address his comment. I mean, bro, it should have been Duffy. He says Duffy's a veteran and knows what he's doing. But I'll address that here soon. But going on to Keller, Keller's was really good last year, and if he pitched whole season, I mean, he could have been a Cy Young candidate. Just the Royals were irrelevant the whole year. And Junis, I think honestly, Junis could make a case for the opening day because whenever Cam Gallagher's catching him, he's good as anybody. So I think it should either Junis or Keller, but I'm fine with Keller. But with Duffy, I mean, the dude, while he's popping gum in his mouth, will tear his rotator cuff, and while he's walking out there, he'll stub his toe and break that. And while he's pitching off the mound, he'll stretch his hammy. I mean, the guy is getting injured. He has to get his shoulder cleaned every 2 weeks, it seems like. So, honestly, in my opinion, the Royals need to move Duffy to the pen because he has to have his shoulder cleaned every single week.
I was surprised you
I mean,
didn't
that's what
say
it seems
K-Mac.
like. I mean, obviously, K-Mac is the GOAT. I mean, clearly. But I'm just saying, we got to keep him for the 7th inning, if you know what I'm saying. Or the closer. I mean, I'll be fine with that.
Okay, then. I think it's a good move. But let's get into NBA, and we can do our two things of start, bench, or cut, which are brought to you by you guys. Fans, go tell us who we should do on our Instagram at KC3 Takes. But talking about the NBA, the Suns beat the Warriors. The Warriors are now 4-6 in their last 10 games. What the heck is going on in Oakland? I've never seen this happen. Jackson, we'll start with you.
A, they're not trying. B, I think there is a little smoke. Listen, this team just plays for fun a lot. Right now, you think that they go into that game with the mentality that they go in with the playoffs? No way. Here's the thing. This is what has always been hard. Even no matter how stacked you are, every team that plays you, if you're the defending champ, gives you their best game every single time.
Sorry. According to NFL Network, OBJ is not happy that he's going to Cleveland.
Really?
Ooh, that could change things.
Says Beckham not thrilled to be going to Cleveland, according to NFL Network.
Which is weird because he has Jarvis Landry, his good buddy over there.
Maybe the Giants did him dirty and didn't even tell him.
Well, David Gettleman, whatever his name is, said, we're not trading OBJ multiple times. He's insistent upon it, saying the whole offseason, we aren't trading him. Even there's rumors going on, 49ers, all this, we're going to trade him. David Gentleman said we're not trading this guy straight up. He said that multiple times. So obviously he kind of stabbed Odell in the back. Just thought I'd throw that in there for you.
All right. We can talk about that more on the next podcast we have. But Jackson, sorry, continue with the Warriors.
Yeah, no, I think every time that a champion or you're a defending champ, everybody comes back and gives you their best. No matter who it is, the 29 other teams are going to always make sure that when they play you, they play their hardest. And that can really wear down a team. And listen, right now Golden State's looking at this like it's March. Like, we're getting to the postseason, but it doesn't really matter. Now, the one thing I took away, if they would have just lost the game, it would have been like, who cares? Like they probably didn't care. But when Steve Kerr was caught mouthing that not safe for work comment, I'm
tired of Draymond's poop.
Yeah, not a lip reader, but I kind of figured out what he was saying. Listen,
even though he said that's not what he said.
I know but he's obviously going to deny it.
I mean, was going to say, no, I said that. That was me.
Yeah, no, he has to say that. But I think honestly, it will rather be Draymond's or Kevin Durant's last season in Golden State these last couple months.
I think it's KD.
I really do. It could be like we came into this year thinking this might be it for KD. And once KD and Draymond had that little feud back earlier in the season, I didn't think it would just go away. Like I couldn't imagine it just completely going away. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And David West, one of their veterans that retired last year, he said that they did a fantastic job of keeping everything behind the locker room and in the locker room. And I feel like there's been a lot of beef because, it's hard when you have a loudmouth like Draymond not to. So to me, I think for all NBA fans can rejoice because I think something is about to get shaken up in the Golden State dynasty.
All right, John, what is going down in Oakland right now?
I mean, I kind of, but to be entirely honest, I'm really not worried if I was a Warriors fan because really, I think they're by far the best team and no one even measures up to them, like, slightly. So, I mean, they can have all the beef that they want, but I feel like come playoff time, things are going to pull together and they will be just fine. I mean, that starting lineup is just ridiculous, especially, I mean, I'm not entirely sure if Boogie even has his feet all the way under him. And if he kind of gets into, like, the form that we've seen him play out before, then he's also incredible. He's a top 3 center at his best. So, I mean, yeah, I doubt that we'll see both of Draymond and KD in Oakland next year because, I mean, I think they got a little bit out at the start of the year when it was clear that, both of them are unhappy with playing with the other one. And I feel like they've just kind of, kept it under wraps better ever since then. It's not like the problem's gone away. So, yeah, I mean, I assume this will be the last year of the Warriors dynasty in this current iteration.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, I do agree with what's been said about how it'll be the last year with all of the real core guys of that dynasty together. But again, it's like same thing with the Patriots every year. Will this hurt the Patriots? Will this hurt the Warriors? Will this hurt this? Or this is going to disrupt them, or this is going to happen. But every single year, the Warriors end up dominating still. Every year, the Patriots end up dominating still. Not necessarily dominating, but, still Super Bowl bound. And so I think, again, I still think they're the team, easily the team to beat. They're still the best team in the NBA, hands down. I still think, even if they were 4-6, and if they even finish the season on the 4-6 of the last 10, I'd still say, if I was still putting money on a team, I'd put it on the Warriors simply.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, anyone would say that too. Like, we all are agreeing. There's nothing to be scared. But let's get on a new segment. Start, bench, or cut. Coming from, let me get this dude's Instagram out. I want to give a shout out because you guys went to our Instagram at KC3 Takes. Shelfless promo there. But anyway, coming from PH Sherlock, he said Saquon, Zeke, or Todd Gurley. And man, oh man, is this a good one?
That's a really good one. Probably one of the best I've ever heard.
I'm starting Saquon.
Are we considering that Todd Gurley has arthritis? Because he does in his legs. Are we considering this?
Yeah.
Todd Gurley at the beginning of the year. How about that?
Okay.
That's a different scenario.
It's all okay. How about this? From now on, it's everybody in their prime.
I understand.
Oh, not in their prime, not in their prime. Out of their best season, out of their best of the past
So
season.
prime.
So they're prime.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're
Well, I think
prime.
even their prime of their career, because if you're saying Frank Gore, Saquon, Zeke, then obviously Frank Gore is the best. I thought you meant like the past year, their best of the past year. I'd be down with that.
No, just who had the best prime?
Yeah, but you don't put Frank Gore with these three young people. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. I'm my bad.
I'm starting Saquon.
I agree.
Yeah, I will
I
start him
agree.
as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm benching Todd Gurley.
Yep.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Oh.
Ooh.
I think Ezekiel.
Wah.
Listen. I think Ezekiel is the biggest difference maker in the NFL for his team. Listen, when Todd Gurley was out, that Rams offense, it wasn't terrible. It still floated. They were still winning games. They had another running back that came in and did just as good as a job, if we're being honest, in the playoffs for Todd Gurley. Now you look when the Cowboys lost Ezekiel Elliott to that suspension, even though they had the best line in football, it was terrible. That team was terrible. It made Prescott way worse. So to me, I'm looking at value, and I think Zeke's more valuable.
Okay, I can see that. Is anyone
Yeah,
else
yeah.
going with Zeke?
I'll stick with Gurley.
Going once,
Screw it.
going twice, 3 times sold. Jackson's the odd one out. All right, moving on. In their primes of their career, LeBron, Durant, or Giannis?
Oh, this is
Cheese.
starting LeBron.
Starting LeBron.
I'm starting Giannis.
I'm
Okay.
starting.
I'm joking. Oh shoot.
Wait,
What?
what?
I'm
Well, I'm going off the past year. Is that what y'all are going off of?
He said he's starting
No.
Giannis.
No,
I mean,
we're
if we're
going.
going past year, my answer is the same.
Yeah. If you're going in the last 365 days, the best player on the planet was LeBron.
No.
Not the best teammate though.
What are you talking
Okay,
about? Did you
no.
not watch the playoffs?
I kind of wanted to get you to go off.
Also, here's the main thing. Like, the Cavs are so terrible this year, but, like, they made the playoffs. They made the finals with LeBron, and they're, like, the worst team in the NBA now.
And they're already eliminated.
Besides the
now.
Suns.
Yeah, but look at the Lakers now, a better team than the Cavs this year, even without LeBron. And now they're
mean,
Yeah,
even
the Lakers
missing playoffs.
have the same
LeBron
exact
missed
record.
20 games.
The Lakers have
That's
the
not
same
really-
exact record as they did as of today, a year ago.
Also, I wasn't buying into it too much, but the whole trade shakeup, like, that definitely did a number on this team.
Exactly, but who started the trade shakeup though? Who started the trade shakeup?
No, I tell you, who
LeBron
started all of
James.
this.
LeBron
crap.
did not start the trade shakeup.
Hey,
This is what happened.
hey,
No.
hey,
No.
This is about this is about OBJ.
No.
This is about OBJ.
I don't. Okay, whatever.
We're in this. I'm coming back to this. So you
All
do
right.
this.
Everyone in the Giants organization is in total disbelief. Dave Gettleman is destroying this team from the inside out, and this is the worst tragedy in history of New York. Oh shoot, that's from Barry. Oh shoot, god dang it. I was like, are they really saying that? And I was like, oh shoot.
You
that
shut
makes-
me up to sit. Okay, let me say this. Whose fault is this that this Lakers team is not good? It is Magic freaking AIDS
I
Johnson.
disagree.
All
I
right.
disagree.
Here's
How
why.
is it LeBron? Okay, sorry.
It's known you have to put shooters around LeBron. That's how you win. Because LeBron is he's a great vision. He can pass the ball so well. He knows how to get people in the right spots. He is the best floor manager in the NBA. I truly believe that. And whenever you put shooters around him, like J.R. Smith even, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, guess what? You can win games. But when you have the team that is worse than the league at free throw shooting, which is partly LeBron's fault, but still the rest of the guys aren't good either. Like 28th in three-point percentage. I'm not even going to blame that on LeBron. LeBron's shooting like 40%. That's good for him. He's like 6'8". He's in his 16th year. But plus they have not been healthy in, oh my God. You signed LeBron James and your next move was to sign JaVale McGee and Lance Stevenson.
Jackson, because this was late in the season. They couldn't in
while
off season.
While you let Julius Randle and Brooke Lopez go. You let two of your better players go.
You're acting like they were going to make them make the playoffs.
I mean, okay, in fairness,
It would be-
like, they were the 5 seed in the West before LeBron goes down, and then the Davis fiasco happened.
See, LeBron is not the problem. It is Lonzo Ball.
No, it's not Lonzo Ball.
No, it's not Lonzo Ball. How can you?
It's that Magic Johnson
here
has
with the
not
Lonzo
gotten
Ball
a
crap.
crop of talent
I'm not
to go.
being-
Like, listen,
Hold
LeBron is
crop of
LeBron
talent.
is listen. LeBron's had a bad year as a leader. I totally admit that, and I'm a LeBron
Wait,
fan.
hold up. Y'all actually think Magic Johnson's the GM of this team? It's LeBron James. LeBron James
No,
tells Magic Johnson whatever the heck he wants to tell him to do.
No, okay. Man.
So you're saying if LeBron says go get
God.
AD, that he won't make an offer for AD?
well, sure he has influence, but like God, everyone acts like he's making the calls.
Didn't want AD. Also, you can't blame them for wanting to go after AD. Like, if AD's in LA right now, we could be saying that they're like a legitimate contender. Like,
But here's what I'm saying. If LeBron says, I want this guy, will the Lakers make an offer for him?
Well,
Nine
they'll
out of 10
try.
times. Exactly. And so he's messing up the chemistry.
he's not the only guy that says that.
I guarantee you that LeBron the one that said, let's go sign JaVale McGee and Lance Stevenson and get rid of Julius Randle and Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
that's
But if
not
LeBron says,
James.
I want Julius Randle on the team, would he be on the team this year?
There's a possibility.
Easy. No. He says, I want Julius Randle on my team.
If it's not,
Yeah.
a high,
Everybody,
if it's not a
it came out
high
not too long ago.
player-
Everybody on the coaching staff, including Luke Walton, who's a terrible coach, said they wanted Julius Randle and Lopez back, but Magic Johnson's hard head didn't re-sign them.
Literally,
LeBron said, "I want him,"
says
he would've
want
got
a
him.
player that's not like all-star caliber, they can get that player instantly.
Easily.
Okay.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Do you think LeBron told them to trade Zubac, like one of the only good players that was on the team?
Yeah,
I bet
thank
bet
you for
had
that,
some
by the
type
way.
of-
But you
as
think,
a
but
Clippers
was it ran by LeBron? Was it ran by LeBron?
Well, every move is run by superstars in this league.
I know, but LeBron let it pass. If LeBron
so
said
you're
no, it
saying the
wouldn't happen.
Warriors starting five is the decision making for the
You're
whole team?
telling me, Josh, whenever KD was in free agency, that the organization didn't ask Steph, Clay, and Draymond how they felt about Kevin Durant coming.
No
Yeah.
dip, Sherlock, but like
Well, okay, so they're asking their influence. They're asking their opinion, which is what they do with every
I know.
star
And so,
player.
and so, why is their chemistry messed up? You're saying Magic Johnson, but who is running Magic Johnson and who is allowing Magic
Their
Johnson to make these
chemistry's
moves?
messed up because they went after a superstar.
dang,
And
John's
who
getting
wanted
mad
it?
at
That who
Sam
wanted-
in the
who wanted
first
that
episode.
superstar?
everyone wanted the superstar.
Everybody wants that superstar.
But who started it? Who started it all? LeBron James.
No. Oh, no.
You could say LeBron wanted Anthony Davis. So does every other player in the league. Everybody
Yeah,
wants Anthony Davis. Like
if
that's
every
that's
single
a
team had a chance to get rid of those bums for Anthony Davis, then every single person involved in those organizations would be like, heck yeah, let's make that trade. Now,
and you cannot tell me that it's LeBron's fault that these players got unfocused because they were in trade talks. You are a professional athlete. You should not be getting distracted by trade rumors. Go out, do your damn job. If you can't do it well, get the hell off of LeBron's team because you're wasting his years.
No, I'm just gonna bring up this one more point. Okay, first of all, whenever LeBron was on the Cavs, people were getting traded left and right. LeBron does run the show there. And if LeBron wants a player, they're gonna try to get him, and that does mess up chemistry. And he did mess up the chemistry. Period.
okay,
All right.
but every single superstar on a team that's one piece away from winning wants to sign or wants to trade for good players. So, like, yeah, maybe it's like indirectly LeBron's fault that they wanted Anthony Davis, but like everyone in that organization wanted Anthony Davis. Magic Johnson wanted Anthony Davis. I can't name any other
So
members.
my question
The Bucks
is, my
wanted it.
question is, who are we benching? Totally
Yeah,
don't know how that conversation.
When it goes-
I'm
when it goes
starting
with pure
LeBron
skill.
benching KD.
Yeah,
Pure
same.
skill. I'm starting LeBron, and I'd bench KD as well.
I'm sorry, Sam. They just double teamed you right there. I didn't want to get into that.
Hey man, I'm all for it. LeBron
I
LeBron
felt.
tears up teams at times. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, well, guys, I think that's gonna do it. We're off for a week.
Well, hold on. We got a few more. We got a few more in the comment section.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sam.
you gotta check the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, all the viewers are
We're
waiting.
doing 3
Yeah.
more.
Yes, John.
Yeah, let's go for
Hey,
it.
Josh.
Yeah.
All right, Honey Badger, Healthy Berry, or Collins.
We can do these quick.
Yeah.
God.
I'm starting Healthy Berry.
I'm just straight.
starting-
What?
I'm going Barry, Honey Badger, Collins, all prime.
Yeah, that's
Same.
what I'm doing.
Same.
Yep.
All right,
On board.
good. Bumgarner, Duffy, or Kershaw? Well, I'm cutting McDuffie without a doubt.
Yeah, what kind of question?
What?
If it's the World Series, then Kershaw can make his way right over to the bench. But
No,
I mean,
no, I'm not. I'm saying you have to factor in everything, and I'm starting Kershaw.
I'm starting Kershaw.
no.
I'm
Okay,
starting-
generally, yeah, I'm starting Kershaw. But
Okay,
Madison
so yeah, you're
Bumgarner is
starting
the-
Kershaw.
But Madison Bumgarner is the greatest World Series pitcher of all time.
Yeah, I'm starting
Yeah.
Bumgarner. I'm
Chris
starting
Sale.
Bumgarner.
Anyway.
I don't know, man. He hasn't been able to stay healthy at all.
Okay,
recently.
that's
If
why
my
he-
back's
they-
against the wall, I'm starting Bumgarner all day.
All right, and next
Who
is
made
LeBron,
that?
Kobe, MJ. Oh God, this is gonna
Okay,
be 20 minutes.
start LeBron, bench NJ, cut Kobe.
Yep.
Ben-
I'm
yeah,
going
Kobe.
MJ, LeBron, Kobe.
Oh my
shoot,
God.
Sam.
I'm
God
starting
dang it.
LeBron.
God
I'm
dang it, Sam.
I'm starting LeBron, benching the gambler, and cutting the rapist.
Ooh, okay.
Wow. All right, I guess we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Leave it
Also,
on
little
there.
PSA: like, if you're a Karl Malone, you're a creep. Karl
I have a
Malone
Karl
is
Malone
a
I have a Karl
big-
Malone jersey.
he's a big weirdo. Like, don't support that guy.
All right, guys. Before we end, you guys have anything to say?
This is a fun episode.
All right.
K
Yeah, this
State
was a
Big
fun
12
episode.
champs, KU Pacer players, FBI. That's it.
We'll see you in 8 days. We're going on vacation.
Well, technically, we won't. I will see you guys in 2 days because I'm giving you live updates from Royal Spring Training.
Yeah.
And
We're not doing another live podcast until
yeah,
next
we won't
Wednesday.
see you guys until next Wednesday, so that should be interesting. Go follow Sam at Chiefs Chaos, Jackson at Orioles Kingdom, and John Alvey nowhere. He
At
does not want you guys.
An anonymous.
We don't link
Because-
that.
John,
Yeah.
John does. John, if you
Don't.
find John's account, we gotta
You're
call
wrong.
the police on you.
I will hunt you down.
And go follow us on KC3 Takes for live
sure.
updates, which will be pretty cool to see. Might try to get some funny player questions. Anyway,
We won't be there on Saturday or Tuesday, but we do have content prepared for you guys, so you
for
will
one
get a
of the
video.
days, maybe,
We're working for sure Saturday, maybe Tuesday. We'll
maybe
figure it out.
Tuesday. Other than that, we'll see you guys. Bye, guys.